Hi guys, it's a beautiful day once again and welcome back to Dexter's World Channel. Our topic for today is all about gathering eggs from different types of feathered animals. Today I am so blessed with so many eggs that I am really bent on buying an incubator. Imagine if you have different types of animals and you don't have this incubator, then all the eggs will just become spoiled. Because these animals, these feathered animals like the dongta or chicken will not incubate their eggs. The incubator for this farm is really very needed because as what I've said earlier, some breeds are not good at hatching their eggs. I don't know with the Guinea fowls, I don't know with the Bourbon, red Bourbon turkey, but what I know is that since they're not native, then they don't have that 100 excellent capacity to hatch their eggs. Well, for the native chickens here in the Philippines, I should say that they are perfect in terms of, generally, they're perfect in terms of hatching their eggs. But for the hybrids and the chickens that I really don't have an orientation about the behavior, I would play safe by buying an incubator, and I contacted my my friend who is fabricating these types of incubator, and in fact you can also order if you wanted. If you're just here in Zamboanga Peninsula, you can order these types of incubator according to your need. We can also have 2,000 eggs capacity or more, depending upon the need of your farm. Just this morning, we were able to harvest a good number of eggs from the different types of feathered animals that we have here. And I'm so happy that this could be a good sign for us to really massively engage in the breeding of these different types of animals. Well, I'm still thinking about breeding parrots and incubating their eggs and hand feeding their babies. The big parrots like the Macau, the, this Eclectus and many more, the expensive ones. But we lack of this capital since, as you can see, we are still trying to improve the facility, the landscaping, and it entails a big budget. But I am very hopeful that few years from now, we will be able to acquire these expensive birds. And in fact, as we're speaking right now, we are already able to have these guinea fowls of different plumage. The color is really that very excellent. It's my first time to have this white guinea fowls, and I believe that there is a lavender color that we will try to acquire as well. And I hope that this will make this farm become very attractive, not only with the locals but also with our visitors from different places. Well, among the feathered animals that I am also thinking about to breed in the future are these ostriches. Behind me is a 7 months old ostrich. This is Gino and Susie. And I really don't have any idea yet as to the behavior and characteristics, and even don't have any idea as to the incubation period that is needed for the eggs of the ostriches to be hatched. But I believe that that would be a very exciting thing to learn about, because these ostriches are, as the owners told me, the previous owners, is very easy to multiply. They will just lay eggs at will, of course. They will just breed without any requirements about the place. If you would put them in a case like this, they will naturally breed. And I hope that in the future we can do these things, and we can maximize the production. About the incubation, I don't know if they will incubate, but according to the research that I made, they are incubated. The eggs of these ostriches are incubated because they're not anymore in the wild. Well, in Africa, perhaps they are incubating their eggs, but since they are not anymore in their natural habitat, then we might as well think about a big incubator for the eggs of the ostriches. And the humidity, I think, and the temperature is quite different compared to the other eggs, like the small eggs of chickens. So these are the things that we thought about in the future, and I hope that we will become successful in our quest to really improve this farm and make this as a facility for learning, a facility for research, and perhaps policy direction in the future, how to deal with animals. I don't know, but these are the things that I wanted to happen here at the farm. Are you fascinated also with the different types or breeds of chickens? Well, I am really very fascinated. In fact, among the bantam chicken, I can say that it's the Serama bantam, which has a very, very small size, is a very fascinating breed among the bantams. And the Dong Tao chicken at my back is as well very fascinating. When I learn about the history of this Dong Tao chicken, that only the royal families have the capacity to eat this one because this is very expensive. And the feet of this has meat. I really don't know. I haven't tried it yet. But as I can see, there is logic about the facts that we are reading about the meat in the feet of this Dong Tao chicken. And since they're big, you see that's they said that's an elephant leg, you know. But for me, I'm not thinking yet of eating this because they are still very small in number. Actually, I only have 2 hen and 1 rooster. But I am looking forward in the future that we would be able to have this type of chickens, and we will be able to also maximize our production here. So the eggs that we have collected, as you can see, my staff is enjoying collecting all these eggs, and this is maybe the routine that we can do every morning, collecting eggs of different types of chicken and even hatching them. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you will continue to like and share videos. If you are not subscribed to this channel, may humbly ask you to please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because we are uploading videos very regularly now. I love you all. See you in my next vlog. The ostrich is already disturbing my cameraman. And see you in my next vlog, all here at Dexter's World.